And the U.S. House is gaveling back in. Coming up, a bill dealing with the adoption of children across state lines, and later, $30 billion in spending on the Energy Department and Army Corps of Engineers water projects. As the House continues work on federal spending for 2007, now live House coverage here on C-SPAN.
Proceedings had during the recess be printed to the record.
Without objection.
Request permission to address the House for 1 minute.
The chair will entertain up to 10 1-minutes on each side. The gentleman from Texas is recognized for 1 minute. The gentleman from Arkansas rise.
Ask unanimous consent to make a statement about my hometown celebrating its centennial.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to pay tribute to my hometown of Gillette, Arkansas, which will celebrate its 100th anniversary this year. This is a significant milestone for our community and for all those who shaped our town's history. Gillette was incorporated in 1906, several decades after the first settlers migrated there from Fulton County, Illinois, in 1881. These early settlers purchased land, built modest homes, farmed crops of oats, corn, and cotton, and developed orchards and raised cattle. They worked hard to establish the town, building the first school and the first church in 1886, the first store in 1888, and lobbying for the completion of the railroad from Stuttgart, Arkansas, to the new town in 1892. The name Gillette first appeared in 1892 after community leaders designated the town's first U.S. post office in honor of Francis M. Gillette, president of the railroad company. The name stuck, and by November 21, 1906, the County Court of Arkansas County approved a petition to incorporate the town of Gillette. The town was busy in those early years establishing the Bank of Gillette, constructing the first sidewalks, building modern two-story high school on Champion Avenue, and dedicating the first flagpole in honor of the men from Gillette serving in World War I. By the early 1920s, Gillette recorded its highest population ever of 1,175 citizens. Gillette hit difficult times, however, in the late 1920s when the flood of 1927 and the Great Depression came. Residents lost their homes and farms, the local bank closed its doors, and businesses went bankrupt. It wasn't until the 1930s when jobs started to reappear as sawmills, stave mills, and handle factories relocated to our city. Gillette sent many men to World War II in the 1940s. Some were captured as prisoners of war in the Pacific, others lost their life fighting for their country. While the town prayed for its war heroes, community leaders continued working to improve the economic conditions in Gillette. In 1946, all the one-room schools in the area moved to Gillette District 66, and the town held its first coon supper to raise money for the local school and youth activities. This event evolved over the years into one of the Arkansas's most popular political events and now receives national and worldwide attention. The town continued to grow during the 1950s and 60s, with Gillette High School attaining North Central accreditation, construction of the Arkansas River Navigation Project, integration of the schools, and the establishment of the Planters and Merchants Bank of Gillette. Farmers and businesses continued to turn a profit, and by the 1970s, area farmers reported all-time highs for commodities. Farms were paid off, new machinery purchased, and new homes constructed. The town itself also underwent a number of improvements thanks to the federal revenue sharing period. A new city hall was constructed and street improvements were made. A library was built, water and sewer improvements received attention, and many beautification projects took place. Despite the booming times of the 1960s and 70s, I ask unanimous consent to finish my statement, Mr. Speaker. The depressed farm economy of the 80s and 90s proved to be a challenging time for our citizens. Many businesses closed and construction of new homes came to a halt. Population figures declined from the highs of the 20s and 60s, and the schools continued to lose enrollment. This declining enrollment posed a serious threat during the 80s when a consolidation proposal almost cost the town its school. It was during this time in 1996 when the citizens of Gillette helped elect me to represent Arkansas's 1st congressional district in the United States House of Representatives. As a resident of Gillette, Arkansas, I am honored to serve my friends in Congress and have spent the past decade working to restore prosperity to the region. We continue to fight for our farmers who struggle with high fuel and fertilizer costs and working for the opportunity to diversify our energy supply so places like Gillette can benefit from new opportunities. Gillette has always been a town of citizens who pull together during tough times to improve our schools, our businesses, and attract new development to the region. On May the 27th, 2006, our community will gather to celebrate 100 years as a corporate community. We will hold a parade down Main Street, reflect on our history, and place a time capsule in front of City Hall to preserve our story for generations to come. I ask my colleagues to join me in congratulating my hometown of Gillette, Arkansas on this significant milestone. We send our appreciation to the town's citizens for years of hard work and dedication to their community and wish Gillette many more years as a wonderful place to live and raise a family. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from Georgia.
Speaker, address the House 1 minute and revise and extend.
Without objection.
Go Gillette.